Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back to the best part of your weekend. It's called The Local Show with Tom and Steve.
How do you know that, Tom? Tom, the best part of their weekend.
Yes. That's called assuming consent.
That is
assuming the sale.
You know what? We, in all fairness,
Yes.
a lot of people really do enjoy the show. We hear from people every week. And, maybe it's a slow weekend. And maybe it is the best part of their weekend, but we appreciate listeners listening and partaking.
Sure thing. Yeah, and they can listen on so many devices now, as well as look on YouTube and see video content from us. So it's really a cool thing.
Yeah, that whole like and subscribe thing. And we're giving a coffee cup away, a Local Show mug. So just like and subscribe, and then in the comments say, hey, I liked and subscribe.
Right.
Maybe sign me up to win a mug. And
Sure.
We'll do that.
And nowadays you can buy likes and buy people's affections. So when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to give everybody $1,000 who subscribed out of Steve's paycheck.
I knew that was coming. You didn't let me down.
Compliments of Steve.
Yeah, whatever.
I can't really back that up, folks, so don't listen to that. Let's talk with a guest of the show. Now, Bob has been on before, Bob Malta. If you don't know who he is, he's the owner of Slot Car Central, slotcarcentral.com. And if you see that, what kind of car is that on your building?
It's a 1974 Saab Sonic.
Oh, okay. You can get closer to that, Mike.
There we go.
A Saab Sonic. That's nice. Yeah, he's over off of Teal. Yeah, but that's right on Teal.
I always wonder what that car on the roof was forever.
Yeah.
It was a spare car, a parts car that I had behind my garage at home that my wife swore I would never do anything with.
Yeah, and how'd you get it
So
up
you
there?
showed her.
It's a fiberglass car. One of my customers, we cut it up and we built a little frame for it, and the town went along with me putting up there, and there you
Nice.
go. Kind of reminds me of Genesee Street when you had the
right.
Mini Cooper on the roof
Yeah.
of vehicles back in the day.
So
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
so
That's
right
kinda
on
cool.
Teal, right by the Lincourt Bakery. A lot of calories over there at the
Lincourt Bakery
Tom.
right around the corner.
Carl's Kitchen Diner. What is that? Right
Carl's
there?
Country Kitchen and Lucky Sevens.
Okay. Yes.
And the Italian American Club is just on the corner.
AC.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, all your people over there, Tom.
I feel like I'm coming home when I come
my
around the corner
goodness.
there.
So the door opens. What's inside underneath the car? Because I think a lot of people don't know.
I think a lot of people think I'm an auto
Yeah, I thought
business
for years
or
you were an
something
auto
or something.
business. Yeah.
90% of our business is mail order. So
okay. 90%.
being that I collect a little real estate, that's kind of how I ended up with the building.
Okay.
But mostly we do electric slot race cars from the 1960s through present day. Squeeze the trigger, they go around the track. Kind of like Hot Wheels, only more controllable.
Right. And Steve used to play with those when he was
Oh
a
my
kid.
gosh!
I did play with them, but I wasn't enamored.
No, I was enamored. It was great fun. You would tune them up, and you have your friends over, and it was just fun.
At one time, everybody's house had one in the basement.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
go from one friend's and
Absolutely.
you hang out for a little while till the mother kicked you out. Go and find something to do and go to somebody else's basement.
And the most amazing thing to me, Tom, was that when we got a lap counter.
Oh, you could see.
And it
how
was the
many
kind with
laps.
little tongue that hangs down.
Sure.
Bloop,
Flapper.
Yeah.
And we would switch on, but we'd have a switch. We had a big oval track and it would switch. So,
Sure.
it's not fair that you're always on the outside or the inside because there's advantages in the way it was.
And I don't think I'm wrong in saying this. I remember episodes of the Partridge Family and the Brady Bunch.
Batman had a famous one.
Yeah,
where
they
were all
showed 'em.
racing.
Oh, I didn't remember
Yeah, they
that.
showed the scenes of them playing with the slot
You can
cars.
Google
back
that
then.
and see all those.
Oh, can
the
ya?
monkeys played with it.
Oh,
for a
yeah.
while.
There you go.
Several of them.
So if
Great
mom or
times.
dad or grandma and grandpa walked in and wanted to get a set to have at the house or to have in the basement, you have all those things right there.
It's a very inexpensive hobby as far as hobbies go. For a couple $100, you can be knee deep in the hobby. And the nice thing really is grandma, grandpa, young, old, anybody can race, anybody can squeeze a trigger. And if you're that turtle that just goes slow, sometimes you win.
Right.
Yeah, you don't fly off the track. When I was trying it here, I kept flying off the track.
Survival.
Going just a little too
Tom
fast.
just go, there it goes.
Most young boys like to squeeze the trigger, run into the wall.
So what you do 90% mail order, but and is that just for slot cars, or do you do anything else at the store, like vintage toys or anything?
Primarily, I've always bought closeouts and collections and such, and when you do that, you end up with other toys. I'm the fourth of four boys, so when the last one went off to college, I ended up with the toys. So I've always been one that, I never really threw anything out. So all of the old model kits and toys and such like that, you get to a certain age where being a kid has some value. You walk into your office, if you see a few toys from when you were a kid, maybe it lightens up your day, bring back memories of simpler times.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah,
yeah.
So especially now. Do you see this being more of a phenomenon now where people want vintage stuff because of kind of the times we live in with the technology taking off and all that?
I think it's all become like that. The surprising part is even stuff from the 80s and 90s, not really in my realm, but even stuff from the 90s and such.
Sure.
Everything kind of makes a comeback over time. During COVID, everybody was trapped at home, so a lot of people cleaned out closets, ran across their collection, says, why not mess with this? And I get a lot of grown men coming in saying they're doing it for their kids, doing it for their grandkids, but it's a secret.
I was in the basement at Mom's last week, Tom, and it's a square case. It says Hot Wheels on it, and it's kind of taped together, and there's like 4 plastic shelves, and they kind of come out, and there's a lot of Matchbox, like little tractors. Little cars, and I was going to pull it out, and I should have grabbed it, and I want to show it to you because you could look in there and go, this was, and you'll know all about it and why it existed and why people like it and things like that.
Usually with that type of stuff, the odd colors, the pinks and the purples that we wouldn't be caught dead with playing as a kid, those are the ones that are more desirable now simply because there weren't too many pink Chargers on the market.
Now, I haven't been over to your website, but is there a lot of information at slotcarcentral.com?
Sure.
And about all these toys, right? Not just slot cars?
For the local people, one of the great things about having a storefront is keeping local people racing. Unless people play with toys locally, I don't really feel like I've done my job. So sometimes people come in and just need a couple dollars worth of parts to get their stuff working from the 60s and 70s. And it's just a great hobby. And I'm always interested when I buy a collection of what the person that owned the cars did for a living. And I can generally tell from a collection, you became an engineer, didn't you? People fiddle with them, and other people kind of paint them up and crash them, and you wonder what they ended up doing. But
they were in the advertising business.
There you go. Still in it.
Do you know what the big trend is for 2023 here in toys? Like if somebody had a collection that they would like to value, what would be things that you're looking for in 2023?
Generally speaking, if you send me a picture from across the room of just about any toys, whether that's board games or die-cast or Tonka, all of that, I'm pretty knowledgeable, and I can tell you it's certainly not worth donating or throwing out. There's value to most all old toys. I don't do too much girl toys, dolls and such. Generally, I focus on vehicles, things with wheels, things with a motor. That's kind of what I like.
Now, can they connect on your website?
Sure.
If they want to send, I want to email a picture of something I have.
Yeah, sure.
Can they email that to you? Or,
sure.
Or what's your email address?
Bob@slotcarcentral.com.
Okay.
That's easy enough.
That's pretty easy. Bob at Slot Car Central. So they could say, hey, because I was going to take some pictures of a few of those cars and I just didn't. And I'm going to do that and show you some of those things and we'll, swing by. You know what? It's more fun to come in because they have a track set up in there, Tom.
Oh, which is nice.
Which is always fun.
We had a couple little kids come in at the end of the day yesterday to play with, never done it before, and they were playing with toys. So we don't charge for it. People can just come around and screw around.
Just do their thing.
Sorry
How about
that.
No, that's okay. How about choo-choo trains? Are people still into trains?
Not so.
Do you value those?
Trains kind of hit their peak late 90s, early 2000 when Neil Young purchased Lionel and tried to update it into digital.
I didn't know he did that.
Tried to update it into digital, tried to keep it moving forward. So now you got trains that have the exact sound of the train you're running.
Wow.
And as they move away, the sound fades. But trains in general, unfortunately, they've somewhat aged out.
Gotcha.
Kind of like Model T collectors. There's just not too many of them around anymore.
The Toy Man, a wealth of knowledge right there. That's Bob Malta, owner of Slot Car Central, slotcarcentral.com. Bob, thank you so much for stopping by. We'll have you on again.
Thank you anytime.
All right. Coming up next, Dr. Nicole Anzalone is the owner of Syracuse Hearing Solutions. She'll be on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.